What if I told you that some national teams heading into the 2026 World Cup are worth more than entire football leagues? We're talking about squads packed with billion-dollar talent, players worth more than luxury mansions, private jets, and even some companies. From Mbappe and Bellingham to Vinícius Jr and Lamine Yamal, the 2026 World Cup could become the most expensive tournament in football history. But here's the scary part. Sometimes the most expensive teams fail in the most shocking ways. Today, we're counting down the richest and most valuable World Cup teams of 2026. And trust me, the number one team is absolutely insane. Welcome to Footy Facts. Football is no longer just a sport. It's a global business worth billions. Transfer fees keep rising every year. Young stars are becoming more expensive than ever. Clubs are spending unbelievable amounts of money to build super teams. And when the World Cup arrives, all that talent comes together on one stage. Some national squads are now worth over 1 billion euros. That's more than the GDP of some small countries. But value doesn't always guarantee trophies. History has shown us that expensive teams can collapse under pressure, while underdogs can shock the world. So today, we're diving into the most valuable teams expected to dominate the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Let's begin.
10. Portugal, the golden generation reloaded. Portugal has quietly built one of the most talented squads in world football. For years, the spotlight was entirely on Cristiano Ronaldo. But now, a completely new generation is taking over. Players like Rafael Leao, João Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Gonçalo Ramos, and Bernardo Silva have turned Portugal into a terrifying team. What makes this squad dangerous is balance. They have creative midfielders, explosive wingers, elite dribblers, and clinical finishers. And despite Ronaldo getting older, his presence still adds leadership and pressure to opponents. Portugal's squad value is now approaching 1 billion euros. That's incredible for a country with a relatively small population. But there's always one big question surrounding Portugal. Can they finally turn talent into World Cup glory? Because on paper, this might be one of the strongest Portuguese teams ever assembled. Germany, football's sleeping giant. Germany has always been one of football's most feared nations. Even during difficult periods, people never count Germany out. Now, a new generation is bringing hope back. Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz are two of the most exciting young players on earth. Musiala moves like a street footballer mixed with a magician. Wirtz controls games with unbelievable intelligence and creativity. Together, they could define Germany's future for the next decade. Germany's squad value has exploded thanks to young talent development. And unlike previous generations, this team plays with more speed, flair, and attacking freedom. But pressure in Germany is different. Fans don't just expect good performances, they expect trophies. Anything less feels like failure. And in 2026, Germany could either return to greatness or disappoint the world again.
8. Brazil, the never-ending factory of talent. No country produces football stars like Brazil. Every generation seems to create new superstars. Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Neymar, and now, Vinícius Jr, Rodrigo, Endrick. Brazil's attack is terrifying. Vinícius Jr has become one of the most dangerous players in the world with his explosive speed and dribbling. Rodrigo delivers in big moments. And Endrick might become football's next global superstar. The scary thing? Most of these players are still very young. Brazil's squad value continues to rise every year because European clubs are willing to spend massive money on Brazilian talent. But Brazil has one huge problem: expectation. For Brazil, the World Cup isn't just a dream, it's an obligation. Fans expect beauty, fans expect dominance,
fans expect trophies. And if they fail, the criticism becomes brutal. The pressure of carrying football's greatest legacy can destroy even the best players. 7. Spain, the rise of a new empire. Spain is becoming dangerous again. After years of rebuilding, they now have one of the youngest and most exciting squads in football. At the center of it all is Lamine Yamal. At such a young age, he already looks fearless against world-class defenders. But Spain's strength isn't just one player. Pedri controls tempo like a veteran. Gavi plays with aggression and intensity. Nico Williams brings speed and unpredictability. Spain combines technical brilliance with modern attacking football. And because their squad is so young, their market value keeps increasing rapidly. Many experts believe Spain could dominate international football for the next 10 years. But youth can also become a weakness. Young players sometimes struggle under extreme World Cup pressure. One mistake can change an entire tournament. Still, this Spanish generation feels special. Very special. 6. Argentina, the champions still hungry. Argentina already conquered the world in 2022. But surprisingly, they might become even stronger by 2026. Why? Because a new generation is arriving while experienced stars remain. Julian Alvarez keeps improving. Enzo Fernandez controls midfield battles. Alejandro Garnacho adds speed and chaos. And then there's Lionel Messi. Even at this stage of his career, Messi changes everything. His presence alone gives Argentina confidence and belief. Argentina's squad value continues to grow because their young players are becoming stars at Europe's biggest clubs. But defending a World Cup title is one of football's hardest challenges. Every opponent wants to beat the champions. Every stadium becomes hostile. And history shows that defending champions often collapse under pressure. Can Argentina stay hungry enough to win again? 5. England, football's most expensive squad. England may have the most valuable squad in world football. And honestly, it's not even close. Jude Bellingham alone is worth an absurd amount of money. Then add Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, Cole Palmer, Harry Kane. The depth is ridiculous. England finally has what fans dreamed about for years: world-class talent in every position. But there's one problem: pressure. No national team deals with pressure quite like England. The media is relentless. Fans expect greatness. Every tournament feels like this is our year. And somehow, something always goes wrong. Penalties, mistakes, bad luck, mental collapse. England's squad might be worth billions. But the real question is, can they finally handle the pressure? 4. France, the ultimate football machine. France doesn't build teams. They build monsters. Every position is stacked with elite talent. And leading the attack is Kylian Mbappé, one of the fastest and most dangerous footballers ever. France combines athleticism, technical skill, physical power, and depth better than almost any country. Even their bench players would start for many national teams. That's how insane their talent pool is. Their squad value keeps rising because France consistently develops world-class players. And by 2026, they could become even stronger. But there's a strange pattern with France. Sometimes they look unstoppable, and sometimes they completely self-destruct. Internal drama, egos, and pressure have damaged previous French teams before. If they stay united, they might dominate the entire tournament. The billion-euro reality of modern football. Football has changed forever. National teams are now collections of players worth hundreds of millions individually.
Teenagers are being valued at over 100 million euros before they even reach their prime. The 2026 World Cup could become the first tournament where multiple squads exceed 1 billion euros in market value. That's unbelievable. And it raises a huge question. Has football become too expensive? Some fans believe modern football is losing its soul. Others believe rising values simply reflect the sport's global popularity. Either way, money now plays a massive role in football history. And in 2026, the world will watch billion-dollar squads battle for football's biggest trophy.
The dark side of expensive teams. Here's something fascinating. The most expensive team doesn't always win. In fact, football history is full of shocking collapses. Brazil losing 7-1, Germany crashing out early, France collapsing unexpectedly. Money creates expectations, and expectations create pressure. Sometimes underdogs are actually more dangerous because they play freely. No fear, no pressure, nothing to lose. That's why the World Cup is magical. A billion-dollar squad can be destroyed by one mistake, one counterattack, one penalty, one bad night. And suddenly, history changes forever. Could 2026 become the greatest World Cup ever? Think about the stars expected at this tournament. Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinícius Jr, Musiala, Yamal, Haaland, Messi, possibly Ronaldo's final appearance? This might become the most talented World Cup generation we've ever seen. Young superstars entering their prime, legends chasing one last trophy, billion-dollar squads everywhere. The level could be absolutely insane. And because the tournament is expanding, surprises may happen more than ever before. Underdogs could rise, giants could fall, new legends could be born. The 2026 World Cup has all the ingredients to become unforgettable.
So, which team do you think will dominate the 2026 World Cup? Will the most expensive squad finally win it all? Or will another underdog shock the world again? And here's an even bigger question. Could football become too expensive in the future? Because every year, transfer values keep rising higher and higher. Maybe one day, we'll see a national team worth $20 billion. Honestly, at this rate, probably. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Footy Facts for more football facts, rankings, World Cup stories, and insane football history. And in the next video, we might reveal the most overrated teams heading into the 2026 World Cup. Now that is going to start arguments.